Good evening.
How are you?
Good, thanks. I have a couple of questions in one.
Yes.
What's your process with actors before the shoot? Do you do rehearsals, read-through, and how do you confront yourself with actors being an actor on set? How much time you give them to rehearse, to, how to express this? Do they express the scene if you go asking them directly for the result, or you try to guide them with some inspiring clues?
Yeah, it's individual, isn't it? And there's different kinds of actors. Even casting, it's like when you sit down with them, I never ask anybody to read anything, because what are you going to find out except they can read? But what's really good is just talking to them about the weather, and then you'll generally get a sense of who they are at their essence, and if that's the kind of quality you want. They said, one guy came in, he said, "Why did you cast that guy?" And he says, "He's the kind of guy that looks like he'd screw your girlfriend while you're out of town." Right? And he said, "Perfect, that's perfect for the part." I think I'm quite empathetic toward actors, having been in the driver's seat a few times, so it's a kind of a shorthand. I don't really have to try too hard with them. It's just mainly being relaxed and open with them to see what they want to try. Rehearsals, yes. I talk with them in advance about stuff. Sometimes we get together, read it, talk about it. I like to get their observations on it, because at the end of the day, they're the one carrying the ball. And I like to be able to trust them. I mean, you get somebody like Andrew Garfield, for instance. You don't need to do anything. He's a self-starter. You just go, action, and he does it. Very rare that you even have to say anything, unless it's like a timing thing. But then there's other people that don't know anything. Like in Apocalypto, nobody much had done it before, ever. And like the main guy he was putting tiles on roofs. That was his job. And for those people, they had no idea what to do with a camera, in front of the camera. They had no idea about finding their center emotionally. So you had to give them, and I thought, man, I have to get to this quick so that they can understand, because it dawned on you that they'd never done this before. I thought, oh no, this is going to take forever. But I found a very good shortcut, and I told them I would just have a talk with them and say, well, what kind of emotional state do you think this character is in at this point? And I'd kind of maybe have to paint him a picture a little, he's just had his, dog shot, or his car's run over his wife, or, or he's just, come back from a mental illness, whatever you have to say. And what do you think the breath pattern is that kind of goes along with that emotional state? And I said, get into that. And they'd start breathing. And then I'd say, and now just think about that stuff. And now just deliver. And it used to kind of work. I was like, I thought, wow, man, I thought I was just bullshitting, but maybe I know what I'm doing, And that generally, that goes along with directing anyhow. It's just like, act as if you know what you're doing, and maybe everyone else will, follow along. But we don't do any of these things alone. So it is about collaboration with the people you're working with in every case. And thank goodness you don't have to do it all alone. I mean, wearing 2 or 3 hats at the same time is exhausting enough. I remember being very physical in a role and then directing it as well. You get about like 4 hours of sleep every night, and you'd work the weekends. And after about 100 days of shooting, you wanted to. You couldn't even talk to people anymore. You're just in a room with a jacket on, sort of drooling in the corner. And it takes you about 3 months to mentally recover from that, just from the sheer exhaustion of putting too much out. So I wouldn't want to have to do that again soon. I don't think I ever will. That's why directing now, I make other people act, so I can just stay behind and watch. And that's the best experience, as you know, right? It's fantastic, right? It's complete in the storytelling thing. It incorporates the actors. It's just a complete experience for me. Either that or I'm just a megalomaniac on